Dead or School? How many of you thought the same thing when you were younger? So I fire the game up and it spends about 10 minutes giving me the setup. I wouldn't mind the intro taking this long. I mean, plenty of games do this kind of thing. But the conversation doesn't advance unless you press the X button every 2 seconds to make it move on. And you have to do this for 10 minutes. Ugh! Ah, fuck's sake, why don't they just call it a button presser simulator? That's what it feels like I'm playing at the moment. Jesus Christ! Oh, come on! Oh shit, an actual game! Look! Game! The story is simple. People infected, people turn into mutants, mutants win war, humans retreat underground. And after a 2-minute conversation with her grandma, our heroine heads off to the surface because she wants to go to school. That's the plot. Because apparently the only place you can find a school in this place is the mutant-infested overworld. Never mind that they've had 8 decades to build an educational establishment underground. No, the surface is the only place you can find a school. Oi, you! How do you know science if there are no schools around, eh? Anyway, quite apart from the utter stupidity of the dumbasses who wrote the plot, how's the game? It's a fighting platformer. You spend your time running, jumping, slicing and blasting your way across Metroidvania-style levels in search of the next objective, i.e. the next bunch of mutants to slaughter. And complicating that is the weapon durability system. Because nothing says fun like your entire arsenal being rendered useless merely by using it for its intended purpose. Now, in all fairness, it's not quite as bad as that. Your guns can run out of bullets and your sword can be worn down to 0, which impairs its effectiveness, but it still keeps on working, sort of. You're never left totally defenseless. And you can restore all the durability and ammo of your weapons by just touching a save point. Touching a save point is also the only way to restore your health to maximum. No medical kits to be found here. Something else touching a save point restores: all the enemies. Yep, this is a Souls-inspired game. It's basically a risk versus reward system. Do you continue and risk breaking your weapons, or Or do you pull back, play it safe, and have to cut your way through those pesky enemies all over again? Something I've just noticed. The map's vanished. When did that happen? Where'd it go? The underground's a bit of a maze with it being a Metroid-inspired thing. I'd appreciate knowing where I am. Bloody hell. Oh! You press down on the D-pad to toggle the map. Took me an hour to figure that out. Oh, and when it says go on the save point menu, what it actually means is fast travel. Took me 2 hours to figure that out. And you can force a reload of your guns with square. Took me 3 hours to work that out. You know, this game is not very informative. You have to collect stuff, naturally. Weapons and weapon mods mainly. Weapons are divided clearly into 3 categories: melee, rifle and launcher. You can have one of each equipped at once. Everything has a weight, and our impulsive would-be schoolgirl has a weight limit, which prevents you from loading whatever you like. Also, money and upgrade gears upgrade your weapons. Although who exactly you're paying with all this money is a bit of a mystery, since the game clearly shows her doing the work herself. And despite supposedly losing all former high technology from the surface and being forced to scrounge for survival underground, somehow all these super advanced gravity platforms still work. Yes, I'm nitpicking. There are some side quests dotted around, like finding refugees or finding a dress. Wait, what? A dress? I have to find a dress? Because that's what's important right now. Oh, I see. It was an excuse to get the Doctor into a revealing outfit. Silly of me to wonder what the hell I was doing, wasn't it? Everything is marked on the map, so you know absolutely where everything is. Grabbing it is a different story, but at least you can find it. And it is worth grabbing everything because pretty much everything gives you extra cash, there are usually mods rewarded, and your maximum health, stamina and weight limits are increased as well. Gotta love the names they gave everything. They poured their heart and soul into some of these names. Names like Mutant, Mutant Throw, Mutant Gun, Mutant Fat, Huge Horn, dynamite, cannon. But it's not just the enemies. Dead End Dan, Johnny the surface hater, Jim the army hater, Zozo the gear wheel hater. Way to stretch the imagination. There are some smattering of environmental puzzles that block access to certain collectibles, and thanks to the janky physics, are more reliant on luck than skill to solve. Sometimes you'll slip off a gentle slope into a bottomless pit. Hell, even walking along flat, level, unobstructed ground is sometimes an issue. Oh, I think she just stubbed her toe on a pebble. And speaking of unobstructed, sometimes the map will get in the way of seeing what's happening. That's not so bad, I guess, because you can dismiss it with a button press. However, sometimes the camera itself is a pain in the arse, zooming out so you can't see what's happening. Or just plain repositioning to give you a view of the level, but not so much the enemies in them. And no, there's no way around that. Great! Enemies will, more often than not, magically teleport into the level to attack you. At the same time, magic barrier shields will appear to the sides to prevent you from retreating or running straight past them. Because there's no chance these guys would keep up with you if you did. Also, enemies don't really telegraph their attacks as such. Attack animations kick in instantly with no wind-up. The only warning you receive is when the enemy flashes just beforehand. You have to either be very good at guessing or psychic. Or the enemy has to have just one attack. Can someone please explain to me where the hell that came from? How did that sneak up on me? Enemies have generic level numbers that stop you from engaging them effectively until you level up. Like Borderlands, except there it's brilliantly balanced. Here it's just brilliantly buggered. Upon entering a new level, you will be hit by a sudden level spike. That stops you from advancing, yes, but more seriously, fewer dead enemies means fewer weapon drops and less XP to level up with. You basically stop grinding against the first 2 or 3 bad guys until you can eke out a big enough edge over the horde. And all this nonsense means you have to keep going back and forth between combat and the checkpoints to restore the durability of your weapons. Do you think this is enough shit to deal with yet? And if you take too much damage, your uniform tears and your attack and defense increase as a form of last stand. because a schoolgirl outfit is clearly the best form of armour and protection against mutants. So naturally, when it rips, it makes it even better. And as a final irritation, even the train car where you store collectibles insists on sticking the names of everything in big letters right in the centre of the screen. Just in case the rest of this game wasn't off-pissing enough for you. I didn't like this game. But on the plus side, I've enjoyed complaining about it. Near the end of level 3, it was just getting fucking obnoxious. Constant ambushes by enemies who were always in the perfect positions, or worse, in impossible to reach positions playing support roles. It wasn't so bad in level 1 or even 2, but now I'm just getting tired of it. I've never liked pre-programmed ambushes in games. This is just a non-stop constant flood of them. I do like the simplicity of it though. In most games these days are complicated with overlapping systems you have to learn, and I don't have a problem with that. But this is just run, jump, attack, reload. I kinda like it for that. But the simplicity isn't elegant. It's awkward. Like trying to walk down the street while under fire from a sodding water cannon. The problem is, Dead or School doesn't do anything that other games haven't already done, and done far better. You want to play a Souls game? Go play, well, Souls. Want a fighting platformer? Dead Cells. Ooh, how about a Japanese type Souls game? Code Vein. Seriously, this doesn't stand out from the crowd, and what it does do, it's bad at it. It's not broken, it's just not done particularly well, and it's impossible to recommend because there's any number of other games you would effortlessly recommend in its place. That'll do for this video. What did you think of it? Leave a like or dislike down below. Actually, there's no point me asking you what you thought of this game, because let's be honest, you haven't played it. And you probably never will now. Most definitely not. Subscribe, ring bell for notification, share. I played this so you don't have to. You're fucking welcome.